It's time for Riddler's Behind the Beats, taking you behind the scenes with your favorite artists.
Shake it down.
What's up? I'm DJ Riddler, and welcome to Riddler Behind the Beats, episode number 2. For those that listened to episode number 1, welcome back. And for those that are just now hearing it for the first time, I'm DJ Riddler. I'm a producer, DJ, remixer, on-air personality based out of Houston, Texas. And in this podcast and future podcasts, it's basically kind of like VH1's Behind the Music, but with more current artists, producers, music industry professionals. Every episode, I'll be talking with different people. And if you have any suggestions on how to make this show better, or if you have any guests that you'd like to see on this show, hit me a DM on my Twitter or Instagram at DJ Riddler. But in this episode, I was down in Miami for Miami Music Week and Ultra Music Festival. And I was fortunate to interview about 40 different DJs and producers. Big shout outs to Carrie Vance over at One Music App for making that happening. And in the first episode, if you haven't listened to the first episode, I interviewed David Guetta, Steve Aoki, Slushy, and Cheat Codes. So for episode number 2, it's kind of a continuation of that. I'm going to make this the trance episode because I have some interviews with some great trance producers. Dave Dresden from Gabriel and Dresden, Markus Schulz, Cosmic Gate, Above and Beyond, and Ferry Corsten, all coming up for Riddler's Behind the Beats, episode number 2. So without further ado, we are going to start off with an interview. A good friend of mine, Markus Schulz. I've known Markus Schulz even before he was a trance DJ. Now, a lot of people don't know this, but he actually started out as a top 40 radio mix show DJ. He used to run a company called Hot Mix, which was on hundreds of stations across the United States. And he'll talk about that and also his transition to becoming the global DJ powerhouse that he is. And he is such a great guy. I love this guy to death. Markus Schulz, everyone. I'm DJ Riddler, and we are Behind the Beats in Miami with Markus Schulz.
Hey, man, welcome. You know, I live here in Miami, so it's good to see all you guys here in my hometown for a change. I mean, I come to see you guys all the time. Now you come to see me.
Yeah. Well, can we go to the house? Let's go.
Yeah, you want to? We'll throw a house party. That's for sure.
So last time I saw you in Atlantic City, we talked. You were previewing your album.
Yeah.
You know, now the album's out. You know, how's things been going so far?
It's really crazy, you know, because you work for 2 years on an album, and then everybody judges it instantly, and then it's like, okay, now what? You know, so we're still releasing tracks from the album, remixes and singles. There'll be the remix album coming out later this summer, but now it's like, what do I do? You know, everybody's remixing my tracks, but what do I do? So I'm starting to release some instrumental tracks now because the album was mostly vocals, and then for 2020, we start working again, start writing again, collaborating again with new artists.
Yeah.
So it's like never ending.
What has been, besides the album, what's been the most memorable moment so far?
Well, it's been I'll be honest with you, it's been a rough start to the year. My mother just passed away, and so that was really, normally what happens is, what we do is, after New Year's, most DJs, agents, clubs kind of go on a little hiatus, and then Miami Music Week, kind of everything starts again, so you're able to take a vacation in those the early quarter of the year, and then kind of get ready for the summer and then grind it out. But the first part of this year has been so rough for me because of my personal stuff. So now I'm just trying to get my head straight, but at the same time, it's interesting because I have started working on some music, and through all this, the music has really been dynamic and not only just the music I've been writing and producing right now, but also my sets have been really interesting and dynamic. So I think it's because I put my soul into the music, and when I'm going through hard times, my music reflects it, you know. And it seems like people can really relate to music like that right now. So it's been interesting beginning of the year, that's for sure.
Right. And musically, with talking earlier with Ferry, and he was talking about how the movement of 140 BPM trance. What is your take on the movement?
Yeah, you know, the thing is, trance is always evolving, and there's like so many different rays of trance. You know, you got the 128, the big room house, the side trance, and then you got the beautiful uplifting 138 type trance, and it's all doing really well. And I think it's good because. The one thing is, a lot of trance DJs play like the one style. Like, I play 138, I play 128, I do this, I do that. But, you know, I come from a background of being a DJ, so I take like all these sounds and put them together into a set that tells a story. And there's a lot of great stuff that's out right now to be able to tell a really eclectic and dynamic story.
Which songs right now has like caught your attention? Are you talking about music that has been coming out?
Yeah, well, I think right now we have an artist on my label, Arkham Knights, who's like, they do techno. There's a lot of techno that has trance melodies in it, and if you played it for some people, they would say, oh, this is trance, this isn't techno. But what he's doing different, and it's amazing, is he's doing techno but with big room melodies on top of it, and it's just amazing. It's sick. It's going over great in my sets. Every time one of those tracks drops, people going wild. So I think it's like something really promising for the future of our genre, to not only have techno influenced trance, but big room trance influenced with techno grooves.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Before I let you go, a lot of people don't know this, but you and I, we do go way back.
Yeah, man.
A lot of people don't know that you were a top 40 mix show DJ.
That was another lifetime. Yeah, you know, I used to do a top 40 radio show, and
syndicated show,
and it was on 150 stations around the country. It was crazy.
Mix.
Exactly. And but to be honest with you, I got burnt out on it, and that's when I moved to London and kind of did a pilgrimage to figure out who I was as an artist. And I came back to the U.S., and that's when my career, took off as an artist. Because I always thought, that's why I have mad respect for all the mix show DJs, all you guys. You know, it's like I came from there.
Yeah.
You know,
and you are such a big inspiration for us all too. I mean, I've definitely been following you. Obviously, we've known each other a long time, but you are definitely an inspiration.
Thank you, man.
Gives us hope that we can make it just like Markus Schulz.
Oh man, and you know, I'm telling you, it's just amazing to see all you guys, because you guys have so much passion and so much love for it, and keeping the radio sounding great. So I respect you guys as well.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Markus.
All right, thank you.
Coming up next, Riddler's Behind the Beats.
Okay, check this out.
Hey guys, Ferry Corsten here. You are Behind the Beats with DJ Riddler.
I'm DJ Riddler. We are Behind the Beats in Miami with legend Ferry Corsten.
Legend, all right, nice.
Last time we saw each other, we were in a hotel room in Houston. I was doing an interviewing.
Right.
And we were actually talking about, with trance, trying to get back to its roots, get back to, 140, 150 BPM. So, what's the State of the Union address from Ferry Corsten now?
Since then, yeah. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot has happened. Trance is, obviously there's a big 140 movement. But so there is also another like a counter side, right? Like, but what I noticed is that a couple of years ago, a lot of the stuff that was considered trance, right, was borderline EDM, minus the put your effing hands up, and that sort of that side is slowly disappearing. I feel it becomes more epic again, more stretched out, big melodies, goosebumpy stuff. So the tempo is definitely there, certain parts, but yeah, it's definitely more emotional. I feel. Yeah.
I mean, the tempo. I definitely hear the tempo there. Are we gonna get back to the 9-minute versions like we used to back in the day?
I don't know. That's really hard. Funny that you mentioned that, because I was just listening for for remembrance sake, of like some older sets, or like 2001, 2000, like Trance Energy and back in the day, my own sets. I was just listening. What was Ferry Corsten back in those days playing, right? And it was definitely a lot more ravey than emotional, you know. But also the tracks were 7-8 minutes, and like 3 minutes in, I'm already like, wow. Can we switch, or can we skip that next break? You know, that was unnecessary, Ferry. You could have mixed earlier. But it was, you know, but that's now, and back in the day it was that. I mean, look, I think if you build the right track that has the, if you build it almost like a classical piece of music that has sort of like parts, different parts, even if it's one track, you may keep the fans a lot more triggered. But if it's one track that's like 10-11 minutes of the same thing, you know, yeah.
Well, I can imagine with this generation, their attention span is definitely a lot shorter.
Yeah.
So what's the latest as far as production-wise? What do you have going on right now?
I just released my single "Free Fall" with Nev last week, so that's brand new. There's a new Gorilla on the horizon. There's what else? There's a few Unity things that are sort of like almost done. So Unity is my project where I do this collaboration with all these different DJs. So that those two are not done yet, but so I can't reveal names yet.
Right, no, I get it. But they're going to be good.
They're going to be fun and good. Yeah, for sure.
They're going to be a wow factor for the fans, right?
I hope so. You know, I think every collab is a wow factor because it's not entirely you, it's not entirely me. It's like best or the worst of both worlds. You know, you never know. So yeah, that's the exciting thing about doing a collab. Yeah.
Right. Now you've been here in Miami many years. What has been your favorite memory that you remember?
Wow. I don't think that's a question that I can really answer. You know, I mean, there's not really one favorite. It all becomes one blur in the end. Yeah. So no, I don't know. It's hard to say.
Right.
Yeah. No.
Yep, I get it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, Ferry. It's always good seeing you.
And you, man.
Coming up next, Riddler's Behind the Beats.
Okay, check this out.
Hi, I'm Pavo. I'm Tony. We're 2/3 of Above and Beyond. You're Behind the Beats with DJ Riddler.
Above and Beyond is up next on Riddler's Behind the Beats, but I actually only got to interview 2 of the 3 members, which of course consist of Jono, Tony, and Pavo. I only got to interview Tony and Pavo. Now, I did get to open up for Above and Beyond at Clay Houston about 2 years ago. We were doing a Something Wicked after party, which Something Wicked is a big EDM festival around Halloween time. So I got to open up for Above and Beyond right after their performance at Something Wicked. But without further ado, here is Above and Beyond. I'm DJ Riddler, and we are Behind the Beats in Miami. Above and Beyond. Hello.
Thanks for having us.
So, Worlds Colliding, your latest collab with Armin. So, how has that been going so far?
It seems to be going really well. I mean, I don't know if I had any expectation for how well it would do, but it seems to be doing really well at radio, which is lovely.
Yeah.
Very excited about that.
And what are some of the latest things upcoming, some of the productions that are coming up?
Well, one of the things that we're really excited about is that we are going back to the Gorge Amphitheatre in July. Really one of our favorite venues in the world, and to be able to do another weekend there, so a proper full-on Anjuna festival is such a cool thing. And
why is it that place so special to you?
Have you been?
Me personally, I've never been.
That's what I'm saying. Go there, come with us in July, and you'll be talking about this in Miami next year.
You've been doing the show now. I mean, what episode are we now?
Well, it's going to be 350 this year and we're doing it in Prague, and it's sold out, which is great. I mean, obviously we changed the name sort of halfway through, so I think we're at 700 radio shows in total that we've done. Something like that,
yeah.
I think. But it's always nice to do these parties. We always have a really great time. So
any special surprises that you could reveal about that show?
I don't think I'm in a position to reveal any surprises.
No,
normally, you know, this that whole thing about releasing information at the required time, and so they keep us in the dark like mushrooms.
Right. Between your busy schedule, how do you guys like unwind? Like just
Well,
relax?
I was just doing an hour and a half of Ashtanga yoga this morning. Got up for a 9:30 a.m. yoga session, and really, I think like looking after our health is really important. I think we fly so much, we don't get enough sleep, so the fitter we